Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. Last week, I made a video where I drove this car, the Sierra Buggy 700R, and in that video, I called it the rarest car in FH5, which it is, but it also isn't. As it turns out, I got a lot of comments from people going, how? Well, instead of replying to all of those comments individually, I thought it'd be more fun if I made a video about it. So that is what we're doing today. In today's video, I'm going to show you all of the rarest cars in Forza Horizon 5, and I'm going to show you how you can get them right now, totally legit. Real quick though, if you missed it, last week we launched the skill issue hoodies. So if you're also a terrible driver in Forza, consider picking one up. There's a link down below. Without further ado though, let's jump into the Forza Horizon 5 rarest cars in the game. And I wanted to start this video by addressing some of the cars that I see mentioned a bunch online as being the rarest cars in the game. I see people mentioning all the time cars like the Dodge Viper Anniversary Edition, the Donut Media Ford Supervan, and even cars like the Corvette ZR1. Although these cars are great, they're not rare at all. If you want to unlock them, all you need to do is unlock the accolade associated with them. For example, to unlock the Anniversary Edition Dodge Viper, all you need to do is complete the Horizon story. Super easy. Anybody can get cars like that at any time. I also oftentimes see people mentioning cars like the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited or the OG Dodge Charger. Again, these are great cars, but they're not rare at all. All you have to do to unlock cars like this is go in the car mastery tree of other cars and spend enough points to unlock these specific cars. Super easy, not rare at all. Surprisingly, I also get a lot of comments about cars like these two, the Pagani Zonda Rainbow and the Porsche Taycan 75th anniversary. These cars are actually the opposite of the rarest car in the game. These cars are actually given to every single player in the game. Not to mention, they're also just a paint job. At the end of the day, they have the same upgrades, they have the same name as the regular cars in the game, so when you get gifted that rainbow car or the 75th anniversary car, you could just remove the paint job and you've got a bog standard car on your hands to do some upgrades with. All three categories of cars like that aren't rare at all. You can actually jump into the auction house and purchase them pretty much whenever you want. So not rare, still very cool cars though. Now we can move into some stuff that is a lot more rare. For example, a car like this, the 2021 Audi RS7. The reason the Audi RS7 is so rare is because to my memory, it was only offered up in the festival playlist 2 times. The first time it was available in the road trip season where all you had to do is get 20 points during the festival playlist during a specific week. That's not really the hardest task to do, but players need to log on during that specific week and unlock that car. The second time the RS7 was available though was in a playlist where you had to get 160 points to unlock the thing. It's not a difficult task, but it is a time-consuming task that's probably going to take you, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours or so. Again, it's not the most difficult thing out there, but fewer and fewer players are going to go and do sorts of things like that, making the Audi RS7 more rare than any of the other cars I've mentioned so far. There's a couple of other cars like this that have only been offered up in the festival playlist a couple of times. Cars like Chris Forsberg's Nissan Z, the car that can have 2,000 horsepower. One of the most notable cars that players could unlock and what's often been referred to as one of the rarest cars in this game has been the Mini Cooper from 1965 Forza Edition. The Mini Cooper with the electric motor swap. This is another one of those cars that's only been in the festival playlist a couple of times, and usually the tasks associated with unlocking the Mini EV has been rather difficult or rather time-consuming, meaning that fewer and fewer players go to unlock it. The Mini was actually one of the rarest cars ever in the festival playlist, so if you got one, well done. Again though, in the bigger picture, cars like this, although yes, are more rare than other cars, are not the rarest car in the game. With enough effort, you can get any of these sorts of cars at any point just by spending a bit of time on the auction house, keep refreshing the feed for long enough, and eventually one will pop up. You will probably need to spend 20 million credits on it, but if you really like these cars, might be worth it for you. Now that we've spoken about all of those sorts of cars that I know people are going to leave comments about, we can jump into some properly rare cars, and let's start it with this thing, the Corvette E-Ray. The way you get the Corvette E-Ray in Forza Horizon 5 is super simple. All you need to do is play the new Forza Motorsport. You just log on to the game, and when you come back to FH5 the next time, a Corvette E-Ray will be waiting for you in your gift box. And I know what you're probably saying, Nick, that's a super easy way to unlock a super sick car with a super sick body kit. And yes, I agree. However, it's actually not as simple as it sounds, because the new Forza Motorsport game isn't available for the old generation Xbox One. Meaning, if you only have an Xbox One and you don't have a Series S or X or a PC, you cannot get the E-Ray. There are actually some workarounds where you can use like Xbox Cloud Gaming to play Forza Motorsport, even on like your phone, for example, and unlock the car that way, but a lot of players aren't doing that, making it one of the rarer cars in Forza Horizon 5. Now, real quick, before we jump into the 4 rarest cars in Forza Horizon 5, I want to quickly tell you how you can unlock the rarest cars in this game right now, completely for free, totally legit. If you're watching this video during the month of March 2024, the developers are currently celebrating Women's History Month over on the Forza forum. They're hosting this photo submission challenge where if you submit a photo of a car using a specific vinyl group, the developers will gift you any non-DLC car you want. Let me show you how it works real quick. In the description down below, I'll have a link to the Forza forums that'll take you to this webpage. Then the next time you're on Forza Horizon 5, head over to the creative menu, search for this share code under the vinyl section, and apply this vinyl to your car. Once you've done that, leave the paint booth and head back into the open world and take a photo of your car. Make sure once you've taken your photo to add in the description of the photo the keyword Forza WHM, and then make sure you save and share your photo so anyone can see it. Then all you need to do is get the share code of that photo, then head over to the link in the description. You can request any non-DLC car you want from the developers, including the Corvette E-Ray, and the car that I'm gonna tell you about, the rarest non-DLC car in Forza Horizon 5. Yes, it's the little Sierra 700R, one of my favorite cars in this game. There are already multiple Sierra buggies in the auto show that are very similar to the 700R. And if you don't really know anything or care too much about buggies, chances are you probably get some of the models confused and haven't even noticed that the 700R is a different one to the one that's in the auto show. The Sierra 700R is not available in the auto show, and there is only one way that you can get it. And the way that you could get it was very time consuming. It was all the way back in the Horizon Wilds Festival playlist. During that festival playlist, you had to get 160 points throughout the entire month. So again, you probably had to spend 4 to 5 hours grinding away throughout the month to unlock this car. And because the 700R, like I said before, is just one of those cars that a lot of people don't really know about or notice anything too different about, not a lot of people went and unlocked. And it's because of that exact reason, it's the rarest non-DLC car in the game. But it's not the rarest car in the game. There are 3 cars that are more rare than it. The 3rd rarest car in the game is this, the Ford Deluxe Coupe Forza Edition. The only way to get this car in Forza Horizon 5 is to purchase the Forza Horizon 5 controller that was available at launch. This one, this controller. It's the cool Xbox controller that's like kind of see-through with all of like the paint splatters and stuff to like symbolize Mexico. If you purchase that controller, in the box was a code to redeem the Ford Deluxe. And just to make it extra rare, those codes actually only worked on Xbox. So if you're a Steam player, you can't actually use the code from this controller to get the car. Well, at least you couldn't. You might be able to now. I don't know if the developers ever fixed that, but anyways, it's the 3rd rarest car in the game. They sold a lot of these controllers. The 2nd rarest car in the game is this, the Oreo Pagani Zonda. Now, I know what you're probably saying, Nick, didn't you just say these paint job cars aren't the rarest cars in the game? I did, but this is not a paint job car. When you're scrolling through the game, there are 2 different Pagani Zondas. The regular Pagani Zonda in the game, that's the one you can buy in the auto show and stuff like that. And there's this one, the Oreo edition. This is actually classed as a different model of car. It also has different upgrades than the regular Pagani Zonda. When you jump into the auto show, the Pagani Zonda that's in the game is like mid S1 class or so. The Pagani Zonda Oreo edition is the top of S1 class. Bone stock. They are completely different cars. And the only way players could unlock this car was back, I think, in 2022. Forza Horizon 5 and Oreos did a promotion together, where if you purchase select packs of Oreos in select countries, you would get a code where you could redeem that code for this Oreo Pagani Zonda in FH5. And that would have been the rarest car in Forza Horizon 5, except there is one more rare, one partnership, one DLC that didn't really make any sense. This is the Ford GT OP edition. It is legitimately the rarest car in Forza Horizon 5. And again, it's not just a paint job. It is far more than that. The regular Ford GT in FH5 is like middle of S1 class. The OP Ford GT is tuned to the top of S1 class bone stock. That's not where the differences end though. The regular Ford GT, when it's fully upgraded, has around 1,000 horsepower, can get around middle to top of S2 class. The OP Ford GT fully upgraded is X class with a built 1,500 horsepower engine. It is insanely quick. And straight up, the only reason this car is more rare than the Oreo one is because I guarantee you've heard of Oreo. You probably haven't heard of OP. And that's because OP is a nail polish company, and Xbox back in 2022 did a partnership with OP between Halo, Forza Horizon 5, and Xbox nail polish. I'm not even joking. What you had to do to unlock this car is spend $20 of real life money on Xbox nail polish, OP Xbox nail polish from like the Xbox collection. And if you did that, on your receipt was a code that you could enter on a specific website. And when you did that, 48 hours later, you got an email with a code to redeem the OP Ford GT. And what's actually kind of sad about it is even if you did all of that and you still have your code, you ran out of time because you had to submit it by a certain date. And the website where you actually would submit your code to like them, like from the receipt, is no longer available. The website is dead. So the Ford GT OPs that are out there are the only ones that are out there, and there will never be any more of them. And that's why the OP Ford GT is the rarest car in the game. However, if you ask me, I still call the Sierra 700R the rarest car in the game because anybody could have got it. You didn't need to pay for it. It's just a car that people forgot about. So there you go. Those are the rarest cars in Forza Horizon 5. Like I said, go and redeem any non-DLC car right now on the Forza forum and go check out the skill issue hoodies. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.